Before you reach for that bottle of vitamin D3, I urge you to pause because there's something you likely haven't been told. Most people take D3 believing they're doing their body a favor. But if you're not pairing it with its essential partner, you could actually be doing harm. Without the right balance, calcium might settle in places it was never meant to be, like your arteries or joints, and that could silently threaten your heart over time. In fact, this one mistake is made by over 90% of supplement users. They think they're protecting their bones, boosting their immunity, or improving mood, and while that might be partially true, they don't realize that the way they're using D3 could be setting them up for long-term complications. Today, we're going to explore 3 critical supplements that, when taken properly, can transform your health, but when misused, may quietly undermine it. These are magnesium, vitamin D3, and vitamin. Chances are you've heard of D3, and maybe magnesium, especially if you've struggled with sleep. But vitamin K2, most people have never even considered it, or they confuse it with K1, which is something entirely different. Here's the real deal. Taking D3 without K2 is like pressing the gas pedal in a car that has no brakes. You can't control where the calcium goes, and it usually ends up in the wrong place, in your arteries, not your bones. After 2 decades of reviewing nutritional data and clinical outcomes, I've seen this same mistake show up in thousands of people. It doesn't happen overnight, but over the years it can snowball into artery hardening, stiff joints, and kidney strain. The good news, this isn't irreversible, and it's completely avoidable if you know what to do. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through 4 powerful insights that can make all the difference in how you supplement. First, we'll expose the dangerous misconceptions 90% of people still believe. Second, I'll explain exactly how these 3 nutrients work together inside your body. Third, I'll show you the smart, effective way to take them. And last, we'll talk about the everyday habits, things you might not even think about that could be quietly sabotaging your efforts without you knowing it. But before we get into it, please take a second to hit like and subscribe. These videos are designed to help people just like you, folks who are trying to do the right thing but need the right knowledge to do it safely and powerfully. This information can quite literally change lives, and the more people who see it, the more impact we can have together. Let's start with the first major misconception, and it's a big one. Millions of people are taking large doses of vitamin D3, 5,000, sometimes even 10,000 IUs a day, and they do it without including any K2. Or worse, they don't even know what K2 is. This is risky, because while D3 helps your body absorb calcium, it doesn't tell your body where to put that calcium. Without K2, calcium can land in your arteries or soft tissues, not in your bones. That buildup doesn't just cause discomfort, it slowly increases your risk of hardened arteries, high blood pressure, and in some cases, stroke. It's like having the power to bring calcium in, but no instructions on where to send it. And sadly, this isn't rare. It's one of the most widespread supplement errors happening today, affecting millions of households across the country who think they're playing it safe, but they're actually taking a gamble with their health. Now let's move to the second common misunderstanding, and it's just as serious. Many people assume that if their blood tests show normal magnesium levels, then everything is fine. But the truth is, that's far from accurate. Blood tests can be misleading because only a tiny fraction, less than 1% of your body's magnesium actually circulates in the blood. The remaining 99% is hidden away in your bones, muscles, and tissues, where standard tests don't reach. Your body is smart. It works around the clock to keep blood magnesium steady, even when you're running low elsewhere. It'll draw magnesium from your muscles or bones to maintain appearances. That means someone can be critically low at the cellular level, yet show a normal blood reading. It's like checking your bank balance by looking at the tip jar. It doesn't reflect what's going on behind the scenes. This is dangerous because magnesium plays a key role in over 300 essential processes, including heartbeat regulation, nerve communication, and muscle control. When levels are low, the body starts to send out quiet warning signs: muscle cramps, chronic fatigue, jitteriness, difficulty sleeping, or a racing heart for no clear reason. But because the blood work seems normal, these symptoms often get ignored or misdiagnosed. Let me tell you about Joan, a 68-year-old grandmother who thought she was just dealing with aging. She had muscle spasms at night, felt tired by noon, and her sleep was broken. Her doctor said her labs looked fine, but when she adjusted her diet and began supplementing with highly absorbable magnesium, everything shifted. Within weeks, her energy lifted, and her sleep felt restful again. The issue was never aging, it was a magnesium deficiency hiding in plain sight. What many don't realize is that even a seemingly healthy diet today may not give you enough magnesium. That's because farming practices have changed. Decades of soil depletion have left our vegetables and grains with far less magnesium than they had 50 years ago. So, even if you're eating leafy greens and whole grains, you may still be coming up short. And it's not just food, stress, caffeine, alcohol, certain medications, even sweating, all strip magnesium from your body faster than you can replace it. That's why simply relying on your plate or a blood test isn't enough. If you're feeling off and you can't quite explain why, magnesium could be the hidden culprit. Many people don't connect the dots until they've struggled for years. But once they correct their magnesium levels, everything starts to feel better. Sleep improves. Anxiety softens, energy stabilizes. It's not magic, it's cellular balance. And too many people are missing it because they're not being told the whole story. Let's now look at the third critical truth. And it surprises most people. Even if you're taking a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement daily, your body may not be able to use it at all. Why? Because without enough magnesium, D3 remains inactive. It just sits there. Your body needs magnesium to convert D3 into the form it can actually absorb and utilize. Without that process, it's like putting fuel in a car that doesn't have a key. Nothing happens. That means you could be faithfully taking 5,000 IU of D3 every morning, thinking you're doing something great for your bones, immune system, or energy. But if you're low on magnesium, your body can't activate it. It's as if you're swallowing empty promises. And worse, because you're already supplementing, you might not suspect D3 is the issue. You'll feel tired, anxious, foggy, and wonder what's wrong with you. All while the real problem is that your D3 is locked out. Vitamin D3 is essential for many things: regulating your mood, keeping your blood pressure stable, improving your immune response, even helping with blood sugar control. So when it isn't working properly, the effects can show up everywhere. People report feeling emotionally low, physically drained, more susceptible to colds and flus, and mentally distant. These are not random problems. They're signs of imbalance that often trace back to magnesium. Take Greg, for instance, a 73-year-old former engineer who had been battling chronic fatigue for months. His D3 levels looked fine, and he was taking a supplement daily. But nothing was improving. It wasn't until his nutritionist suggested increasing his magnesium intake that everything changed. Within days, he felt clearer, calmer, and more alive. His story is not rare, it's just rarely recognized. This is why understanding the connection between magnesium and D3 is so important. They don't work in isolation. In fact, one supports the function of the other. Without magnesium, D3 can't perform its job. And without active D3, your body can't regulate calcium properly, which, as we've seen, leads to dangerous buildups in the wrong places. It's a delicate balance, but once it's restored, the benefits are dramatic. What we've uncovered so far might feel a bit overwhelming, but the goal here is clarity, not confusion. When you understand how these three supplements interact, you gain control over your own health choices. You begin to see that it's not just about what you take, but how and with what you take it. And that understanding can make all the difference between frustration and real results. Now that we understand why these three nutrients are essential and how they depend on each other, let's talk about how to take them properly. Because getting the timing, dosage, and form right is what truly unlocks their full potential. Magnesium, vitamin D3, and vitamin K2 aren't just helpful, they're a team. But like any good team, they only win when they're in sync. Let's begin with magnesium. It plays a central role in hundreds of bodily functions, from heart rhythm to brain performance. It even supports kidney health and blood sugar control. And as we now know, it's also the gatekeeper that activates vitamin D. Most adults need around 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium per day. But here's the catch: not all forms of magnesium are absorbed equally. Magnesium glycinate is often a preferred choice. It's gentle, effective, and well tolerated. Many people find it helpful to split their magnesium dosage, half in the morning and the other half at night. For example, 200 mg with breakfast and another 200 mg before bed can keep levels steady throughout the day. It also promotes more restful sleep at night and better energy in the morning. Timing can make a real difference, especially for those who struggle with fatigue or sleep disruption. Next, vitamin D3 and K2 are best taken together, ideally in the morning and always with a meal that contains healthy fats, like avocado, olive oil, nuts, or eggs. Why? Because D3 and K2 are fat-soluble, meaning your body needs dietary fat in order to properly absorb them. Taking them on an empty stomach or with a low-fat breakfast can severely limit their effectiveness. That's a mistake many people don't even realize they're making. As for dosage, health experts often recommend between 5,000 and 10,000 IU of D3 daily for adults, especially those over 60. But what many overlook is that D3 should be paired with K2 at a 1. That means for every 5,000 IU of D3, you need about 50 micrograms of vitamin K2 to help direct the calcium safely into your bones and teeth, and away from your arteries and soft tissue. But not all K2 is created equal. The two main forms are MK4 and MK7. Both have benefits, but MK7 has the upper hand. It stays in your system longer and helps keep calcium where it belongs over time. Its extended half-life allows steadier support for bone and heart health. That's especially important for older adults looking to protect both their skeletal and cardiovascular systems as they age. The bottom line is this: when used correctly, this trio, magnesium, D3, and K2, can support nearly every system in your body. But if even one piece is missing, things start to fall apart. This isn't about taking more pills. It's about taking them wisely. And the wisdom comes from understanding how your body really works, and how small changes in your routine can lead to big, lasting improvements in how you feel every day. Now that you understand how powerful this trio can be, let's talk about the everyday mistakes that quietly sabotage progress, even for those who are doing everything right. First on that list is how people read supplement labels. Magnesium is a perfect example. Many bottles say 400 mg of magnesium glycinate on the front, but if you turn it around and read the fine print, it may only contain 60 to 90 mg of elemental magnesium, which is what your body actually absorbs. This confusion is widespread. People take one capsule believing they're getting their full daily dose, but in reality they're getting a small fraction, and then they wonder why their symptoms haven't improved. It's not their fault. The labeling is misleading. Worse still, when magnesium is low, your body struggles to use other key nutrients like potassium, and that can drive blood pressure up and disrupt hundreds of vital functions without you realizing why. And while magnesium, D3, and K2 form a powerful foundation, there's another unsung hero working behind the scenes: zinc. Zinc supports everything from immunity to hormone balance, but it also plays a key role in regulating how your body uses vitamin D. However, taking too much zinc, especially doses over 30 mg daily, can create an imbalance by depleting copper, another essential mineral. If copper drops too low, you may feel tired, off rhythm, and more vulnerable to illness, even if your zinc levels are high. Then there's the issue of diet. Every time you eat processed carbs, pastries, sugary drinks, white bread, your body has to burn through extra magnesium just to handle the glucose spike. This means even if you're taking magnesium supplements, a carb-heavy diet will drain your levels faster than you can rebuild them. Supplements aren't magic pills, they're support tools. If your diet is working against them, it's like bailing water from a sinking boat without fixing the leak. Many people also don't realize that certain medications like acid reflux pills, diuretics, and even common blood pressure drugs can reduce your body's ability to retain magnesium and zinc. And chronic conditions like diabetes, Digestive issues or long-term stress can further interfere with nutrient absorption. That's why anyone dealing with these issues, especially older adults, should be even more mindful about how they supplement and what forms they choose. Here's what it all comes down to: awareness and action. Magnesium, vitamin D3, and K2 aren't just pills, they're keys that can unlock better energy, sharper thinking, stronger bones, and a more resilient heart. But only if you use them wisely. Speak with a healthcare professional, choose high-quality supplements, and remember, no pill replaces a healthy lifestyle. When knowledge meets intention, small changes can create powerful transformation. Thank you for watching, and if this helped you, pass it on to someone you care about.